Hello, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Welcome aboard. Thanks for logging in. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out this program. Give me a call today if you'd like to speak about some medical issue. 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. Marvin Hamlish died today, or perhaps yesterday. The award-winning composer of A Chorus Line, The Way We Were, died suddenly at the age of 68. And, his spokesman said he collapsed following what was called a brief illness. Details were not made public. So here he is, the award-winning composer, right? Everybody has heard these songs, Chorus Line, The Way We Were. He was one of, Barbra Streisand's heroes, really an icon in the music industry. And he dies at 68. Which is 30 to 52 years short of the genetic potential that we have as 120. And when I say you can live to be 120, everybody's eyebrows go up. Oh, Dr. Glidden, you've got to be kidding me. 120, we're lucky if we make it to 80. Well, that's right. You're lucky if you make it to 80 because you go to see MDs. MDs have no understanding at all of healthcare. They're trained in disease management through the application of pharmaceutical medicine. And it is a rare instance in which pharmaceutical medicine makes the body stronger. Pharmaceutical medicine can make the body stronger in the face of an infectious illness, but pharmaceutical medicine, when delivered for chronic disease, manages the system, overrides the body's innate biochemistry, overpowers the body's innate biochemistry, marches in and controls the situation through biochemistry, better living through biochemistry, and is rampant with side effects because the human body is a complex system of interrelated parts. And when you throw into that system a man-made synthetic drug which overpowers the system and attempts to manipulate and control one aspect of that system, it must therefore have trickle-down effects system-wide. So you take a medicine for blood pressure and you get type 2 diabetes from it. You take an arthritis medicine and your liver explodes. So forth and so on. MDs have no conceptual understanding of how to help you regain and maintain your health. All that they're trained in is the application of drugs and surgery, the idea of which is to manage your health concerns, right? Manage your health concerns. So Marvin Hamlish dies in his late 60s. And they're not going to tell us why, because it probably had something to do with an MD screw-up, same way that Andy Rooney died. Andy Rooney, the icon of 60 Minutes. Andy Rooney goes in for, again, they wouldn't tell us what it was, a conventional medical checkup, some type of, outpatient surgery, and they kill him. And everybody's okay with that. Now, can you imagine what would happen if Andy Rooney had gone to see a chiropractor and died the day after, or if Andy Rooney, heaven forbid, had gone to see a naturopathic physician or a licensed herbalist? They gave him some type of treatment, whatever it was, and then the next day he died. Can you imagine what would happen? But when the MDs do it, we don't even break a sweat. We don't even blink. We don't even notice it. And when you hear headlines like Marvin Hamlish dead at 69 years old, you should be terrified. And Steve Jobs dead in his early 60s, you should be terrified. Why? Because these people arguably have more money than you do. For goodness sake, Steve Jobs had more money than God, practically. And Steve Jobs' health was eroding quickly. The MDs could not help one of the richest men in the world. The MDs could not help one of the most famous men in the world, Marvin Hamlish, famous at least in the theater industry and in the music industry. Couldn't help him. And when he dies in his 60s, we don't bat an eyelash. We think about, his poor family, his poor wife, his children, whatever, and our heart goes out to the family because, here, and thus dies another American legend. When really what we should be thinking, those incompetent MDs should be fired. But we don't, because we have drunk the Kool-Aid, which makes us incorrectly believe that the MD in the United States is beyond judgment, that the MD is doing their absolute best for us. And guess what? The MD is doing what they have been trained in. And what they have been trained in is disease management. There is a gigantic difference between disease management and healthcare. You know, we should pass a law that says hospitals and doctors, anybody practicing allopathic reductionism, should not be able to entertain the public with the false notion that they're practicing healthcare, because they're not. Under their watch, we are getting less healthy, not more healthy. Celebrities die way before their time. In Hamlish's case, it was 50 years before his time. If Marvin Hamlish was my patient, I could have added at least 30 years to his life. At least 30 years to his life. And if your child is my patient, you know, if you come to see me, if you avail yourself of the knowledge put forth by Dr. Wallach, and which is actuated throughout this country by every longevity representative in the United States, in the world, if your child starts out on our program in utero and follows it for the rest of their life, you will see a generation of geniuses. You will see a generation of Methuselahs. You will see a generation of people optimizing their genetic potential, optimizing their Old Testament promise, and man's years shall number 120. Apparently, we've gotten used to mediocrity because we're dropping like flies now in our 60s. Marvin Hamlish, you've got to be kidding me. When I read headlines like that, what happens in my frontal cortex, red lights go off and it says, failure. Another egregious failure of conventional medicine. Be very afraid, ladies and gentlemen. When you see celebrities and rich people die, you should double down with the longevity approach. You should double down with your dedication, with your commitment to learning about medical nutrition, to learning about health recovery through science-based, clinically verified, science-based, non-drug solutions. We've been hypnotized once, twice, thrice. Once hypnotized into believing that the MD is the undisputed king of medicine. Twice into believing that everybody else is a back-of-the-bus quack. And thrice into believing that healing is some complicated, sophisticated, expensive process that should only be orchestrated by people with MDs after their name. And all three of these notions are nonsense. Healing is easy because the human body, number one, knows how to heal itself. Number two, wants to heal itself. But if you practice disease management, you are clueless about this. And you know, I've been doing this for 20 years in the trenches of primary care, naturopathic medicine, as a licensed naturopathic physician. 20 years, 20 plus years now as a licensed naturopathic physician. And I spend a lot of time bashing the MDs on their incompetence before the altar of human suffering and human disease. They are completely clueless about the generative cause of most chronic disease. They don't even know what causes heartburn, for goodness sake. You talk to an MD, they'll tell you that heartburn is caused by too much stomach acid, but they won't tell you how it's possible that your body can even begin to manufacture too much stomach acid. How does that happen? How does that happen, Doc, that all of a sudden I woke up one day and my stomach decided to make twice as much stomach acid as it did the day before? Why did that happen? How did that happen? Well, we don't know. It's probably genetic. Yeah, nonsense. By the way, one of my catchphrases, and I want you to memorize this, I want you to put this one up on the refrigerator, and I want you to look at it every day and drill it into your frontal cortex. Whenever a medical professional tells you that your condition is genetic, that's code for I have no idea what's causing this problem, but I don't want to look stupid. And you know, most people, most lay people, having only a modicum of ideation about what the heck genetics is in the first place. Most people don't even know the difference between a positive charge and a negative charge. They can conceptualize. They have no working knowledge. They don't even know what's the difference between a molecule or an atom. Most college students in the United States don't even know, where Seattle is on the map. They don't even know where Afghanistan is on the world map, and they're lucky if they can point out Antarctica. We are a nation of morons. Why are we a nation of morons? Because we've listened to the man. It's very few people take their own education, their own brains, their own intellect into, grab it by the teeth and make it stronger. If all you do is go home and listen to TV every night and, read pulp fiction, you're going to be led down the bridle path also. You're going to go right down the rabbit hole into the land of, Alice's Wonderland, where everything is backwards, everything is inside out, everything is upside down, and everything is backwards. There is a solution to this madness, ladies and gentlemen, and the solution is, number one, you need to demand from your health care practitioners, from whomever it is that you go to for medical treatment, a timetable inside of which you are going to recover. Yeah, how long is it going to take, Doc? Is it going to take a week, a month, a year? And what is your medicine going to do to me? How is it going to address my problem? And if you're comfortable with the answer, work inside of that time frame in order to experience health and resolution of the problem. With me, it's 90 days. 90 days for most chronic health conditions. Hang out with me for 90 days and I will change your life. And I will encourage you every moment of every day of those 90 days to fire your MD now. I am by talking to Pat, who's calling in with a 2-week update. Pat, you're live with Dr. Glidden. Welcome back.
Hi, Dr. Glidden, and thank you so much. I called you and actually I looked back and it was July the 18th. I am a sickle cell anemia patient and my blood count had dropped to 6.5. My hemoglobin had dropped to 6.5 and I wasn't doing too well. And you gave me a protocol of doing Z-Radical and Tropical Plus 3 times a day. And told me in 2 weeks to go back and have my blood checked. And in like 16 days later, it was 7.0.
Who the man, baby? Who the man?
You're the man. You're the man.
Yeah, that's right. Gotta love it. Right. Hey, that's only in 16 days. Imagine what's going to happen in 90 days, right?
Okay, and that's my next question. Do I keep that protocol going?
Oh, yeah, you do. So here's the deal. That's a great question. By the way, just for my own edification, did anything else did the program that I put you on make you feel different? Like, did it do anything to your energy, your mood, or your sleep, or your aches and pains? Tell me about that. Okay,
well, I wasn't as winded, when I was moving around. And the other thing that I noticed about 16 days was that I was thinking clear, meaning I was doing the stuff I was supposed to be doing rather than just being vegged out. And so, yes, my energy level did go up, and the thinking was real important to me because I wasn't doing anything. I was just lunching.
Well, yeah, thinking's pretty important, right? Yeah, it's good to have that one dialed in. Yeah, good for you, Pat. That's really great. So, look, the best is yet to come here, okay? And I'll give you a little insider information. The old-time naturopaths always said that it takes approximately 1 month for every year that you've had a problem to get on the other side of it clinically. But if you've had sickle cell forever, how old are you, Pat?
68.
68, yeah. So, it's going to take, like, in the old school method, 5 years to get on the other side of this. It's 60 months, right? 60, 68 months, 5 years, a little bit more. But following this protocol, in 16 days, there's already been a remarkable objective improvement, as qualified by the blood work numbers, and also you're subjectively feeling better. So this is one of the great things about Dr. Wallach's approach. Because, number one, it is patently holistic. Now, you know, you didn't need to do an office visit with me. You didn't need to do a consultation with me. I didn't need to look at your blood work. I didn't need to do an expensive ultrasound or an expensive x-ray or none of that nonsense, right? Did we do any of that? Did I order any of that stuff? Did I order any of those tests for you?
You did not.
Exactly, I did not. Now, if you went to a normal medical doctor, which you've been doing for all your life, that's all that they do. It's blood work and more blood work and stool analysis and ultrasound and MRA and lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my, right? It's diagnostic day with those guys. We didn't need to do any of that. I didn't even need to know what your blood type was. So go take that and swallow it, Peter Diadamo. You know, eat right for your blood type, my butt. So what we do here is patently holistic because we provide your body with all of the raw materials that it needs to fix itself. We stop eating the food that's gumming up the works, get the heck out of the way, and let the body fix itself. And as is evidenced by your experience, man, it works, and it works like a charm. Now, it's impossible to tell, you know, in this, in the wonderful landscape here, the wonderful world of holistic medicine, generally speaking, there are two phases. We have a treatment phase and then a management phase, right? The treatment phase, we need to do more stuff until we reach our health goal, and then we back off to a maintenance phase, It's really tricky to know with people who have sickle cell when it's time to dial it down. So you should, you know, have in your mind the understanding that you're going to be on this treatment phase, on doing what you're doing for at least 6 months, all right? So you're going to have to do the diet discipline for the rest of your life. You're going to have to continue to avoid all those 10 bad foods forever. Teach everybody in your world about that, too. And dial it in to stay on these supplements for the next 5 months. And then once we get to the 6-month mark, we can take another look at this and see if there's anything we can add or subtract from it in order to optimize your health. Pat, this is the best news I've heard all week. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for sticking with me and trying longevity. For those of you in the greater North Carolina area, this Friday I'm going to be giving a free health lecture in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Holiday Inn on Little Rock Road. And this Saturday I'm going to be right down the road in Statesville, North Carolina. And Friday, I believe, I don't know if it's Friday or Saturday, we expect to have members of the sickle cell anemia group in, I believe it's a group that's in North Carolina or Georgia. I'm not sure, but they're coming up for the event, as are some other health notables, because our message of health recovery through medical nutrition, science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, is starting to spread like wildfire. Why? Because it works. Why does it work? Because your body wants to fix itself, your body knows how to fix itself, and your MD is completely incapable about any of this, about doing this. For goodness sake, you wouldn't bring your computer to a plumber. You'd bring your computer to a computer guy. You bring a plumber to your house to fix your plumbing. You don't bring a plumber to fix your computer. Bringing your body to an MD, if you have a chronic health condition, is a fool's errand. It's like bringing your laptop or your desktop computer to a plumber, because they are completely clueless about the very first thing about health. What's the very first thing about health? Your body wants to fix itself. Actually, that's the second thing about health. The first thing, your body knows how to fix itself. Number 2, your body wants to fix itself. Number 3, all it needs is enough antioxidants, enough essential nutrients, and it needs you to stop putting garbage down the hatch that's gumming up the works. And by garbage, what do I mean? I mean oil in a bottle. Olive oil. That's right, olive oil. Stop it. Well done red meat. Stop it. You want to eat meat? Have as much as you want. Have red meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just cook it rare or medium rare. And if you cook it on the grill, cook it in aluminum foil so you don't get the grill marks. If you eat a potato, boil it. If you boil a potato, yam, or sweet potato, you can eat the skin. But if you bake a potato, do not eat the skin. Eliminate wheat, barley, rye, and oats. That's right, whole wheat. It's what killed Michael Jackson. It'll kill you too. I have a whole video that I put together on my website, and I will email it to you for free, explaining why wheat, barley, rye, and oats will kill you. Visit fireyourmdnow.com. Opt in for my free email newsletter. It's right there on the front page of the website. Just opt in. Give me your name and email address, and once you hit submit, my system automatically sends you an email with my good food, bad food list and a link to view the video against the grain. Free information, ladies and gentlemen. What's better than free information? There's only one thing better than free information. It's picking up the phone, calling your medical doctor, and firing them. That's better. That's the best medicine in the world. Fire your MD. Fire your MD. Now, right back to the phones. Sheila calling with breast cancer and Crohn's disease. Sheila, you are live with Dr. Glidden. Welcome aboard.
Yes, how are you? Thanks for taking my call. It's actually, my sister's breast has been hurting her really bad for the last year. She actually went to the doctor today, and they checked her breast. They said there wasn't anything wrong with her breast, that there's something wrong with her heart. So she's really worried. She's scared. And I just wanted to know, is there anything that you could tell me that she could take for that?
Oh, yeah, you bet there is. And, you know, we've made it easy because we are trying to populate this message as quickly as we can, number one. And number two, because healing is easy. So you don't need, you know, like the previous caller, you don't need a sophisticated medical workup to get on the other side of to support and promote the health of your blood so that you get a leg up on sickle cell anemia, for goodness sake. You don't need a complicated cardiovascular workup. You don't need them to put you on the treadmill and give you a heart attack. You don't need a CT scan that's going to give you 527 times the amount of radiation that one chest X-ray does. You don't need all that nonsense. Initially, you don't need all that nonsense. What do you need? You need one healthy brain and heart pack. We put together a combination of nutritional supplements. It's called the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. One healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. It's that simple. So start taking, order that combination of supplements, one healthy brain and heart pack. So if she's 150 pounds, she needs 1.5 packs a month. Well, how do you do that? Well, in August, you order 2 packs, and in September, you order 1. In October, you order 2. November, you order 1, and so forth and so on. Dose it out appropriately. I've got information about that on the website. This is what we do to support and promote the health of the heart. This is what we do to support and promote the health of whatever part of the body is a problem. We have a healthy digestion pack. Gee, I wonder what that's for. We have a healthy bone and joint pack. Gee, I wonder what that's for, right? Healing is easy. In addition to the healthy brain and heart pack, the other thing that she needs to do, Sheila, is what you need to do and I need to do and everybody in the country needs to do. We need to discover the 10 foods that we consider bad for you, and we need to stop eating them. You need to discover the 10 foods that are bad for you and stop eating them. Because, if you get your car tuned up, man, you take your car to the best car tuner upperer in the world. And that car is in there for a whole day, and they go through it with a fine-tooth comb, man. They fix everything in that car. New fan belts, new spark plugs, new spark plug cables. Hey, drain the oil, put new oil in. New radiator fluid, man, it is tuned up. It's better than it was when it came off the lot. If you do all that and you continue to put the wrong fuel in the tank, you put diesel fuel in an unleaded tank, the car is going to run like crap, no matter how well tuned up it is. It's the same with the body. In order to support and promote the health of any part of the body, we need to stop eating food that's hurting the body. The problem in this regard, man, the people that we've been listening to for the last 50 years to tell us which foods are good and which foods are bad work for the food industry. They have cooked the books, no pun intended. They don't know what's healthy and what's not healthy. MDs say don't eat salt, eat margarine. They're wrong. You should not eat margarine, and you should eat lots of salt. Now, again, because healing is easy, and because we are attempting to populate this message as quickly as possible, all you need to do is go to fireyourmdnow.com. Visit my website, fireyourmdnow.com. That's easy to remember. And right there on the front page, opt in to my mailing list. It's free. You give me your name and your email address and then hit submit. And once you hit submit, my system automatically sends you a link, an email, with a link to my good food, bad food list and an explanation of why wheat, barley, rye, and oats will kill you. This is education all the time, 24/7, free education. Free education. It's free. And if you want to get the supplements at the wholesale price, which, you really should do, give one of my associates a call, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. That number again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to get in touch with me live during the show, but you can't get through because the lines are jammed up, and or you want help figuring out how to order this stuff, get it at the wholesale price instead of the retail price, that's the number you want to call, 855-347-3696. So my recommendation, one healthy brain and heart pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus the elimination of the 10 bad foods from her diet. And if she does that, she should start to feel a noticeable, measurable improvement every 2 to 3 weeks. It's kind of like watching ice melt in the springtime, just like Pat, who called us first. 16 days on the program, and she's already feeling better. Her blood work's getting better. The game is afoot. Thank you so much for calling, Sheila. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your trust. Now, have this person in your life give science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition a try. She's going to love how she feels, and why don't you try it too? Our recommendation, generically, the boilerplate stuff that everybody needs to do, one healthy start pack plus 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. One healthy start pack and 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus the good food, bad food diet. I don't really care what you do eat. I care what you don't eat. That's the reverse of what you've been taught all throughout your life, but really, you can be a healthy vegetarian. You can be a healthy vegan. You can be a healthy carnivore. You can be a healthy lacto-ovo, novo from Provo if you want, as long as you're eliminating the 10 bad foods and you're taking the 90 essential nutrients into your body in doses appropriate for your body weight every month. This is all that we do. This is so simple, a child could do it. As a matter of fact, we have thousands of children all around the world doing this. And this next generation, those kids are going to be the leaders of their pack. They're going to be the smartest kids in their class. They're going to be the most athletic kids in the class. They're going to be the most creative kids in their class. They're going to be the healthiest kids in their class. And they are going to outshine their peers in every way, shape, or form. It's no different. If I was growing 2 tomato plants, by the way, which I am, on our back porch, we have a little in-house experiment going on. We've got 2 tomato pots. In one of the pots, we've got tomatoes growing with the plant-derived minerals for support. Yeah, plants need support too, so we're giving it to them. And in the other pot, we've just got soil and water. And I'm going to post pictures shortly, and you're going to see the difference between those 2 tomato plants. It's going to blow your mind. When you support and promote, so my point is, if you're growing 2 different plants and one of them you give good soil and good fertilizer and good water and good sunlight to, and the other one you don't, well, which one's going to be healthier and stronger? The one you fertilize, the one you take care of appropriately. What's the same with the human body, except a lot more. This is what we do. This is how we do it. Healing is easy. Chris is up next. Chris, we have a minute and a half left, and then I'll punch you over to the next segment. Chris, calling with arthritis. You are live with Dr. Glidden. Welcome aboard.
I was going to say real quick, man, you make too much sense.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway, I'm 45 years old. I'm a male. I'm 5'6", 195, and I got arthritis.
Yeah.
And I have my right hip has bone spurs.
Yeah.
And the doctor wants to do, a hip replacement. I've already seen the surgeon. Yeah. And the surgeon gave me a... Go ahead.
All right. I tell you what, man, I was given a lecture last weekend in northern Massachusetts, a little town called Methuen. And right there in the front row, there was a 32, 33-year-old gentleman, big guy, looked like a weightlifter. And he had a problem called avascular necrosis of the hip. That means the blood supply to his hip was shut off. It wasn't there anymore, and his hip socket was decaying. That's bad. They told him the same nonsense. Oh, you need a titanium hip. Oh, you need a fake hip. Oh, you've got a bad gene. He started on board with our nutritional support, and in 3 weeks, his pain was 70% gone. 70% gone. He's on the road to recovery. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your friendly neighborhood naturopath, Dr. Peter Glidden. Check me out 24/7 on the World Wide Web. Just do a Google search, Dr. Glidden. That's Glidden like the paint. No relation. Glidden. Dr. Glidden. I always come up number 1 on the Google search. There's a reason for it. Because I'm spreading the word as quickly as I can, lecturing all over the world as often as I can, giving health webinars on the World Wide Web 2-3 times a week. We are everywhere all the time spreading this message. Why? Because everybody is suffering for lack of knowledge. Everybody is suffering for no good reason, and I'm not okay with that. You shouldn't be either. For goodness sake, if you saw your neighbor's 6-year-old son playing in the street, playing baseball in the street, you'd run out there and grab him and tell him a thing or two, and don't play in the street. If you saw your neighbor's little infant crawling, across the yard, towards the briar patch or crawling across the driveway, you'd run out there and save that child. Stop that. It's going to hurt you. Well, that's why we do what we do. Because we're dedicated. Myself and everybody in the Longevity family, you know who we are? We are real, legitimate, no-nonsense, caring, and compassionate human beings. And by the way, I don't make any money from the sale of vitamins in Longevity. How about that? 0. So you can't be thinking in the back of your mind, oh, that Dr. Glidden, he's just trying to get me to buy vitamins so he can get rich. Well, guess what? I don't. I make my money through book sales, through CD sales, and through information dispersal, the same way Dr. Wallach does. 0 revenue from the vitamin sales. How about that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Big Pharma. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Dr. Oz. For goodness sake, ladies and gentlemen, man, you don't know what you don't know, right? And when it comes to health and healing, what you don't know will heal you or kill you. Now, Chris, you still with me?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, brother. So here's what we do. All that we need to do for bones and joints is 2 things. We need to stop eating food that's robbing nutrients from the joints. Now, we've identified 10 bad foods, right, that hurt kind of everybody kind of across the board. Specifically, so you need to eliminate those 10 foods from your diet right away. But in addition to that, when it comes to bones and joints, there's one food that we tend to consume all of the time that really hurts the bones and joints, and that's soda or pop. Root beer, Coke, Pepsi, any type of carbonated beverage that has phosphoric acid in it. When you drink that stuff, it's going to steal minerals away from your body, and your bones and joints are starting to go south only because they've lost minerals from their structure. And so when you drink or eat food that robs minerals from your body, that's not good, right? So you really got to completely eliminate the consumption of anything that has phosphoric acid in it. So that's all soda and all soda pops. Different parts of the country call that different things. All right. No more Coke, no more Diet Coke, no more root beer, no more ginger ale, no more Mountain Dew, no more Mr. Pibb, no more any of that nonsense, because that stuff will erode the fabric of the joint. All right. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the elimination of the 10 bad foods. Number 3 Here's what I would like you to do. Oh, but are you experiencing pain, Chris? Is pain a factor here?
Mostly in that hip, but I got arthritis pretty much in all the joints. A little swelling in different places. I wake up in the morning stiff, the whole thing. But it's mostly that they want me to replace the hip.
Yeah, no, I get it. But you're experiencing pain on a daily basis, right?
Yes, it's chronic.
Okay, all right. Well, sometimes people with arthritis, it's mostly stiffness, not a whole lot of pain, a little bit of pain, but mostly it's stiff, and, they can't bend over. It takes them a while to get going after they've been sitting down for a long time. But when pain's a factor, here's what we're going to do, because we're running out of time, because Dr. Glidden talks too much. 1 healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. How much do you weigh?
Around 190.
All right, so we're going to give you the 200-pound dose. So that's 2 healthy bone and joint packs per month. 2 healthy bone and joint packs per month. That's going to come with a product called CM Cream. It's a white cream. I want you to smear the cream topically on your skin over the parts of your body that are the most painful. That cream should knock down the pain for 3, 4, 5 hours, which will give you a little bit of relief while we're rebuilding your system from the inside out, supporting and promoting the health of your bones, the health of your joints. 1 healthy bone and joint pack, well, in your case, it would be 2 healthy bone and joint packs per month. You're going to love how you feel. Give my folks a call to help you figure out how to get it at the wholesale price. That's 855-347-3696.